Yo, what is up, everyone? I swear, whenever I don't know why that always happens. It's like I lose subscribers whenever I start, and then the subscriber count updates. It's disappointing. 7 o'clock, perfect time. I mean, I like the 7 o'clock streams. It's really light out now. As long as there's no sun, it's a good stream at 7 o'clock. I don't have to have the blinds closed. If I have the blinds closed, it looks like a dungeon. Like snowing. This is like the last snow we're gonna get of the year. Ever in your life you thought the S&P 500 could trade like crypto? I mean, it's really not. It didn't do anything today. You see the Trump administration put out that fake rumor, slow the markets. It's a smart strategy. Thoughts on the I don't know what you're talking about. The president of Salvador? What did he say? Guys, this has got to be. I think this is AI. I'm gonna go ahead and say I think this is AI. But Trump does this with other leaders as well. It's not just Netanyahu. But like, doesn't this look AI? Dude, this is AI. This is AI. People believe this is real. That looks AI to me. I don't know. Look at Trump. Have you ever been to Ohio Stadium? Went there for the NHL game. Low key thought the place was a dump. No, I've never been there. No, but you're absolutely right. They don't upkeep it at all. That's what those college teams do. They think they can get away with it because it's a legendary stadium. So there's zero upkeep. They've made no investment into that stadium, or very little investment. Dude, I think this is actually AI. People believe this is real. Like, if you look at it, it looks like AI. Bought the dip today. Well, that's good, man. In either crypto or the stock market. Yeah, I haven't deployed any money. Dude, I just paid my taxes. I finished paying my taxes today. So I'm all paid. I'm actually also paid for Q1 estimate 2025 as well. So they got me. But you know what? It's not as bad as I thought. Blacks can't use death narrative for Carmelo, so now they're resorting to self-defense. Well, yeah, I mean, dude, those people, I mean, I think they're trying to get a rise out of white people. They're like, oh, it's self-defense. It's ridiculous, obviously. It's completely false. I mean, nobody was there, but obviously those people are completely delusional, and they try and excuse violent behavior. That is typical, though, so I guess it makes sense. Do you think China will cave first? It was explained to me like China has no choice. So people were telling me that basically China's going to put up this front like they're fighting, but then they're going to have to cave. But did you see the report that came out where China's like, they're like, the United States is bullying, somebody help us? I mean, this is embarrassing from China. But this is what happens when you have a trade surplus like this and you're so reliant on a country and we shut you off. So they'll probably put their tariffs in. I mean, remember what Canada did? They did the fake fighting. Oh, we're going to fight this. We're going to do reciprocal. Well, you're really not going to be able to because you have a massive surplus with us. And all these people say they can just run to other countries. No, they can't. They cannot find another country that has the consumer base that we do. None of these countries can. This is absurd. Of course they have to negotiate with us. It's all liberal delusion to think that they'll just trade. We'll go over some of these Trump clips. But Israel offered the United States, they said they're going to remove all their tariffs and eliminate their deficit with the United States. That's what Israel said. I mean, Israel, I mean, it's all such a charade because, all of our actions in the Middle East are for Israel. Oh, is it buffering? It's because I have a low latency. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to change it. I might be screwed. Oh god. It's because I turned it to low latency. It's fine. I know, but it's probably going to keep doing that because I turned it to low latency because I wanted to interact with the chat more. I can't even do it on this internet, and so if it happens again, I might have to stop the stream and turn it to normal latency and then restart it because this is going to keep being a problem. Because this was an adjustment I made for this stream specifically. Playback error. I don't want to have to do this, man. Is that why you had 20-second delay? Is that normal latency? Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't know if it's 20-second delay. I don't know what the actual delay is. If it's 20-second, 15-second. I don't want to have to restart it because then people are just going to get another notification or some shit. It was less than yeah, I know. It should be like 7 to 10-second delay, but gas prices going down. No, they're fluctuating. They've gone down since Trump's taken over though, but now they're fluctuating. They go up, they go down. Like within 20 cents, they'll be just fluctuating in between there. Progressive conservative Doug Ford says America will be terminated. What the hell? Did you see China stopped rare earth exports? How will that affect? Yeah, I mean that was retaliation. I mean that's why. I mean I'm not sure that's going to affect us too much, but they're going to try and retaliate in some way. Obviously, we don't have a lot of rare earths. They kind of control the market. That's why we're trying to either mainly get Greenland, but also look at northern Canada. Yeah, if the stream keeps messing up, guys, just tell me. I will have to try and either restart it or I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly, but I have to do something. Why did the EU tap out on the tariffs and want to negotiate? They seem like they were ready to throw hands with Trump because of how liberal they are. Yeah, I know. And they don't have a crazy surplus with us either, but they immediately caved in. It's interesting. I thought they were definitely going to do a bullshit 2 or 3 week fight, just like the Canadians did, maybe even longer, but they didn't do it. Perfect. Yeah, hopefully it stays good. That's unfortunate with the latency. I mean, to me, I don't care being on a lag or whatever, delay, it doesn't matter, but it would be better to immediately respond to the chat. Your problem with Trump is that he campaigned based on lowering costs for everyday working Americans like yourself. The opposite is happening. Well, I mean, you're talking about 1/20th of Trump's term, right? So the net result of this administration will be lower costs for people. But but honestly, you can't really treat the economy like that. It's just such a short time period. But even in this 4-year span, I think what we're going to have is a much better, more robust economy in the second half of this term. Otani got a photo with Trump. Yeah, I saw that. Dude, Otani he's a beast. He is a cyborg, Otani. And he definitely was I mean, the Dodgers were happy to be there. That's Los Angeles. And you know what? They're like, we're going to go to the White House. We're going to do this. So they were professional about it. Trump just canceled meeting with Netanyahu. Yeah, that was actually false. I just tweeted that because I saw the news. It was a press conference they canceled. Egg prices down, gas prices down. What are you talking about? Yeah, but I mean that those aren't the only components to the economy. Let's be honest. But no, I hear you. Did you see Canada is having their presidential debate on April 17th? Yeah. I think somebody told me the 16th is in French and the 17th is in English. So we'll see that. I wonder why the administration won't come down on the companies hiring illegals so they deport themselves. What do you mean, like punish those companies who are hiring the illegals? It's a lot of construction companies doing it. I know that. Trump said he's having a meeting with the Iran leader Saturday. That's good. You get dialogue. That's true. That's good. Trump and Netanyahu, but this was not even that good, not that good of a meet. They didn't even talk about the Palestine situation. Would you stream the Canada debate? I don't know, man. I mean, is it worth it? I don't know. 6.5% tax on firearms and ammo in Colorado. Well, Colorado's gotten very liberal. Thoughts on Trump saying war with Iran is very possible? Did he say that today? Let me turn this up.
I think if the talks aren't successful with Iran, I think Iran is going to be in great danger. And I hate to say it, great danger, because they can't have a nuclear weapon.
So is that a yes?
You know, it's not a complicated formula. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. That's all there is.
So
Can't have it. Right now we have countries that have nuclear power that shouldn't have it. But I'm sure we'll be able to negotiate out of that, too, as part of this later on down the line. But Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if the talks aren't successful, I actually think it'll be a very bad day for Iran if that's the case. Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is just the normal stuff he says. I mean, he always threatens countries. You got to look at what Trump's actions are, not necessarily the words. Remember, he threatened the Palestinians about the hostages, and they originally didn't do anything, and he didn't bomb them or anything. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with Iran. It does. I mean, it's going to be very bad for the base if Trump decides to strike Iran with Israel. I mean, it's going to be very bad. Iran cannot get a nuclear weapon, that would be World War III. Well, I mean, how are we going to decide if they get a nuclear weapon or not? And really, I mean, look at North Korea. How does it automatically mean World War III? It's just like, these are Middle Eastern conflicts, not involving the United States. Fair, but his administration wants war, especially Hegseth. Yeah, Hegseth kind of seems like he's an aggressor. They want to change it to the Department of War too, from the Department of Defense. I mean, not that that really matters, but I thought that was kind of dumb. Like, do we really want to do that? I know it was previously the Department of War. I understand. Did you see Tucker Carlson's tweet about Iran? Yeah, I saw it. But I mean, Tucker Carlson is doing that right wing, like I'm the base from right wing mainstream guy. But I mean, no, I don't want to disregard Tucker like that. But I mean, I get Tucker, and but he's doing the whole thing with Churchill was the enemy of World War II and all that stuff. So it's like, I understand it. It's like people are trying to like be the most based out of anyone. That's what it kind of turns into with this online like right wing stuff to me. I don't know. But no, I mean, everyone knows, the right wing people, we can't do this. You can't allow these fucking neocons to still control the party after everything that, Trump has created in MAGA. His second administration to go to war with Iran. What a huge fucking step back. DOD sounds better. Yeah, I know. I like the idea of Department of Defense better anyways. Thoughts on Mike Pence's man? Mike Pence is tweeting. Mike Pence's intern must have woke up and tweeted. I can't see Mike Pence using X. Dude, come on. Or maybe this is his personal account, so it's not. I mean, he didn't tweet jack shit. That nobody cares about this though. He just quoted something about a trade deficit. I'm really not much here. Yeah, but Otani with Trump.
Boy, oh boy, what an athlete.
He's like, what an athlete.
3, 2, 1.
You know what you do? And for your family.
Trump signed something for him.
It's a great honor. You're an amazing athlete.
Dude, Otani looks like an Olympian from Japan, like who just won a gold medal. It just doesn't even feel like. It just has a different vibe. Because, I don't know, it's weird.
Person. Have a good time. Take a picture by the Declaration of Independence. That's good. That's a good one.
3, 2, 1.
White guy. Thank you.
Department of War and Defense sounds pretty boss, aggressive but humble. Yeah, I mean, if you combine them, I guess, but I think DOD is better. Just watch Trump and BB press questions. Trump, the boss of bosses. Yeah, well, I saw Israel. I mean, Trump got Israel to, he said, BB said that they're going to eliminate the deficit. They're taking off all their tariffs, and other countries should do it. But that whole relationship between the United States and Israel is so, with Trump, it's just so inorganic. Like, they're taking off all this stuff. They're so great to us. So it's always cringy when they meet. Imagine Trump told him to take a picture with the Gulf of America. Did they still have that up? Remember when Trump was trying to brag about it and he showed McGregor, and McGregor thought it was the greatest thing ever? He's like, congratulations, that work ethic. Trump's just like, have you seen this? Look at what we did to this. And then McGregor's like, oh my God, this is congratulations, sir. You've seen what we've done there? We changed the name. Trump really doesn't like BB, though, does he? Well, yeah, they've got some type of blackmail on him or something. It's bad. You're so disappointed on how liberal Oregon is. It's the West Coast. The coastline, man. Salem, Portland. Otani running for president. Otani, he's one of the greatest. I mean, you talk about one of the greatest baseball players they have, really of all time, with the pitching and hitting. Big news today. How was your day? BB made big deals. Well, you're talking about removing all the tariffs and deficit with Trump. Yeah, I mean, my day was fine. I woke up really tired today, and yeah, it's just been kind of odd. Last night was not good. I think I got like 7 hours, 8 hours of sleep. It wasn't like I got little sleep. I was really tired yesterday, and then today I woke up and I just woke up tired. And, you know, I went out to get food, and we've just got this really bipolar weather where it's sunny and then it's like 30 degrees out. I mean, it's like 30 to 40 degrees nowadays because we had a warm up period and now it is snowing. You get this sometimes. The thing is we'll get snow into like mid-April, like April 15th, April 16th, maybe like April 22nd is the last snow. Maybe. And then the first snow of the year is always November. Trump is based now. Bibi said he would eliminate all deficits and Trump kept the tariffs. I know, but there also has to be, Trump has to realize that people think that, in a way, it's kind of just a social gesture to tell people like he can stand up to Israel too. I mean, he can't have that many blinders on to not realize that there are people criticizing him for his support of Israel and how it's the exact opposite of basically every other foreign policy and foreign country he has. You lack vitamin D. Yeah, no, you're right, but I think everyone does. That's a deficiency because it's just the way we are nowadays. We're indoors a lot. Where are you, Alaska? No, I'm not Alaska. It's in Ohio. It snows in April for sure. People don't realize it snows in April in Ohio. You think Israel's deals today will encourage other countries to come to the U.S. for deals? Well, it's dependent on the amount they trade with us. I mean, Israel's a very small country that is extremely reliant on U.S. military aid. Other countries aren't like that. So it's a different dynamic. But, I mean, whether or not, Israel does that, there were already other countries that reportedly were willing to talk, and Trump said the negotiations would begin. So the negotiations he said, are starting right now. He said that on Truth Social today. He will negotiate with countries when he gets the interest rate slashed. I mean, that's really what I've been saying too. But the question is, maybe some of the negotiations happen beforehand. I would imagine they're going to, but the rates are going to have to get slashed either way because the market, it's going to take time to recover. It's not going to immediately recover, even if some of the countries get to negotiate out of these tariffs. But the tariffs might also stay on. Like Trump might just slash the tariffs from like 20% to 10% on certain countries and keep the 10% tariffs on. And we get negotiated like a better trade situation with that country, like a better trade environment. Because remember, it's not just the tariffs that these countries have on us. It's also the VATs. It's also the currency manipulation. It's also the overregulation they have on U.S. goods to make it hard for us to be competitive in their markets. So it's a number of different things. Was this all a ploy to get the rate slashed? Well, I mean, if you're Trump, there's no way you can know exactly how the markets will react to these maneuvers, but you have a general idea that, yes, if you're extremely coy, if you threaten tariffs with all the top countries you're trading with, the markets are not going to react favorably. The inflation will go down immediately because of the market's tank, and then ideally that would force the rates to be cut. I think what was going to happen if Trump kept things like status quo and just did, kind of what he did in 2017, where you do like strategical tariffs, that's what they call it, where you target certain countries and you're very conservative about it. You're talking about like a 2.5 year, fighting match with Powell over these rates that are never going to be cut. And then they finally get cut in like Q3 of 2026. Trump just doesn't want to wait. They're going to be cut Q2 of 2025, hopefully. You think Trump's shooting for completely fair trade? Yeah, but fair trade is it's a fool's gambit, just in terms of how trade is structured with different countries playing by different rules in general. But I mean, like the deficit with China has to be changed. We can't keep just we're just basically building China up to be a super. I mean, they're already going to be a super. They're already a superpower without, to a degree, without us. But you know, with how they do things and how they undercut us, it makes sense for Trump. And this is the, you know, the idea of diplomatically hurting our adversaries through tariffs. You're basically using the massive economy and massive consumer base that we have as a political weapon. As the Doge dividend, yeah, I don't know what's happening with the Doge dividend. They said maybe in 2026 after they hopefully save the money, but they have to save $2 trillion. And then, you know, if they did the Doge dividend, it would be $400 billion in total money going back to the citizens. Ben Shapiro complained on his podcast about tariffs for a third straight day. Shapiro's got a lot of nerve after everything Trump has done for Israel to complain about this. Suck it up. We put 17% tariffs on your country. Deal with it. We're sick of it. Or you know what? We're taking away our military support. We're just sick of this, man. I mean, it's just like... Will Trump make a nuclear deal with Iran this time, unlike first time where he was against any deal? Well, he ripped up the original nuclear deal they had with Iran. Trump did. With encouragement from Israel. So I mean, hopefully there is a nuclear deal. If you're dumping stocks on the way down, you should, yeah, nobody should be selling stocks right now at all. Are you holding strong? What else am I going to do? What am I going to sell, like a tenth of what it was worth? Of course I'm holding. I'm just holding and hoping we actually get a bull run, honestly. But I've been debating putting more money in. It's like, I'm probably going to have a lot of expenses in here, but maybe I'll put more money in. It just depends. No trade deficit or nothing? Well, how can you figure a no trade deficit with China? That seems rather hard. I mean, I guess it can be done, considering our deficit is... Well, Trump said our deficit was like 1.2 trillion. I thought it was like 300 billion with China. No more meme coins? Dude, I have meme coins, of course. What are you talking about, man? Of course I have meme coins. You regret voting for Trump? No. Listen, there's other policies, there's other things, you know, that don't involve the Middle East, that don't involve Israel, that Trump is significantly better than Harris would have been. But in general, it's just, you know, Trump or Kamala. At least we got the border sealed. That's all I can say. I mean, you're talking about the demographics getting ultimately completely fucked with Kamala in, and that'd be the number one issue. The demographics would just, because they weren't going to deport anyone. Even after all of that shit with the border, where, you know, the Democrats finally had to say, all right, we'll fix it, because, I mean, Biden was like minus 40 in terms of opinion polls on immigration policy. So they had to say, all right, we're going to fix it now. And then they said, no, we're giving everyone amnesty. Would 0 for 0 tariffs with countries be a win? Not really, because they have other things like VATs and currency manipulation. That's what it would really be negotiated. Like the EU, they would have to negotiate the VATs off to allow for our products to be more competitive in their market. Anti-Israel first conservatives are at this point shitting on anything Trump does, surely to sit on Trump because he's pro-Israel. They were shitting on Doge last time around. No, you're absolutely right. Well, it's a grift now. 100% it's a grift. And now they're starting to tie everything, literally everything, to Israel. And so the problem becomes, when you're that one-dimensional, when I start listening to these people and it's all Israel, 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 it goes in one ear and out the other. But like there were always people like that, but now it's like a lot bigger people or people getting more popular are doing it, because the people used to be very small, but now they're getting bigger and bigger. I mean, I'll agree with them. Yeah, Trump definitely has a different policy for Israel. It's not good, but it's just a constant Israel session every single day, no matter what. It's Israel. And so it's hard to really, like, it goes in one ear out the other with me with these people, because it's like, where's your credibility in terms of just everything is Israel? It's the Israel grift. Ian Carroll thoughts? Well, Ian Carroll is a good example. Remember, Ian Carroll came out 2 weeks ago on a Saturday or Friday. This weekend, we know for sure it's going to come out and be released. Israel is blackmailing RFK Jr. Okay, so where is it? Now, like, maybe they are, I don't know, but it's like these people, I'm just saying this is what they do. Like he said, this is going to come out, guys. It's happening this weekend. Don't worry. It's like 2 weeks later. Nothing's come out. Chances of Alberta leaving Canada are getting higher because the Liberal Party attacking the leader of Alberta. Yeah, I know there's definitely some turmoil within Alberta. There's a lot of animosity against Eastern Canada and how much money they have to pay them, because they've got that Equalization Act. That Equalization Act may be what gets Alberta to join the United States. Iran have sovereignty. U.S. needs to solve its own problems before worrying about Iran. Well, I agree with that, but that's kind of just bullshit. Like, what do you mean our own problems? I mean, we're always going to have problems. We're never going to fully solve our problems. There's always problems when you're dealing with an economy our size. But I know what you're saying. I mean, we shouldn't be involved in this. But I mean, that's like a common point that I think a lot of us have been saying. But like, how do I really approach this if Trump bombs Iran? Do I have to come out against him? I mean, I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just one situation. RFK is trying to fight anti-Semitism. Oh, man. Yeah, RFK's got a big heart, man. Come on. But I mean, but you know what I'm saying. Crude prices are down with interest rates. Yeah, crude oil is really down. You see the talking point, they're trying to be like, oh, that means it's a recession because crude oil is down, so they're pricing it in. Now, crude oil has been going down. This is Trump's big key, is the energy prices going down. Tell you what, they're doing a lot with this poly market. I mean, every day they're putting up shit on here. This recession number, I thought it went down. Maybe not. There's a lot of bet on this. Hopefully a decrease. Do you think Iran is actually making nukes? I don't know. It's WMD's 2.0. No, I'm just kidding. They say they're close. I mean, who do you believe? The news, the media? They say they're at 60% uranium enrichment, which is basically they have one if they wanted to make it fully. How do YouTubers get paid for older videos? Are y'all paid monthly? Yeah, once a month. We get paid anywhere from the 21st to the 24th, depending on when the weekend is, because they never send out paychecks on the weekend. It's once a month. So like for my payment for March will be probably April 22nd or April 23rd. And we still, I mean, older videos, it just goes to the month. So if I upload a video on June 7th, and then let's say during July that video from June 7th gets in July, it gets like 20K views. For those 20K views, I'll be paid, you know, obviously the month of July. Low crude due to flooding market by Saudis could hurt domestic drillers, but gas. I mean, yeah, but you'll take the prices being lower. Did you see the rabbi in Congress who advocated? You see the rabbi in Congress who advocated for so extreme laws on anti-Semitism that even Steven Crowder, a paid shill of Israel, even said it was too far. Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people are starting to do that. You know, a lot of those conservatives are starting to, you know, call out Israel to a degree because it's shifting a little bit. So you see Steven Crowder and stuff. Now he's coming out against it. Yeah, this is my job. Supreme Court ruling. What was the Supreme Court ruling? China's retaliatory 34% tariff on the U.S. was not a good move for their economy. Well, yeah, but it's all posturing. See, I think they'll have to cave into whatever Trump wants in terms of negotiations. They're going to have to give up TikTok. They're going to have to give up some other stuff. I mean, Trump's going to keep a tariff on China no matter what. He definitely wants, you know, part of Trump's administration, I think, is with his legacy, he wants to really squeeze China and their economy to a degree because we know the development with China coming up and trying to pass the United States and everything like that. YouTube income calculated by total channel views per month, or is each video calculated and add them up? No, it's views per month. It's just views per month. Subscribers are useless in terms of subscribers help your street cred, like they help you get views, but views are what gets you paid. When I was younger, I thought like if you got like 1 million subscribers, YouTube would have to pay you just for having subscribers. I mean, that's kind of stupid, but when I was younger, I thought that. But it's all just based on views. But obviously, if you have like a bunch of shorts, you're not getting paid shit for shorts. That's why I never do. You know, I never do shorts because there's no point. I mean, I guess shorts can help a little bit, but you know, they've done studies on YouTube shorts, and YouTube shorts don't really increase. The idea would be to give people watch the short in short form, and then they become a fan of you and watch the long form content. There's very little carryover from what I've seen. Yeah, well, you know, this is why, you know, conservatives control the Supreme Court. This should be a no-brainer, you know? They ruled that the Alien Enemies Act has total authority. Yeah, this is what we expect from a conservative Supreme Court. They flew speed around in a helicopter. Yeah, it's gotten so obvious. It's gotten so ridiculously obvious. That's just Chinese propaganda, like, oh, we're, high tech and all this. Hopefully we can get 7th conservative yeah, that's the goal during this term. I think I like some stuff. Hold on. Yeah. China restricts exports of 7 rare earth metals to all countries. You cost me over. This dude's complaining about $3,000. $3,000. Now there's a bunch of young people telling boomers to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. China tags President Trump on X with no context. Oh, they're pissed off. $3,000, man. You wouldn't be able to live with crypto. You're mad about $3,000. Come on, bro.
President, a very simple thing. We will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. We intend to do it very quickly. We think it's the right thing to do. And we're going to also eliminate trade barriers, a variety of trade barriers that have been put up unnecessarily. And I think Israel can serve as a model for many.
Yeah, well, those trade barriers are also part of negotiations with other countries. It's not just the tariffs.
Many countries who ought to do the same. I recognize the position of the United States. It says, we're allowing other countries to put tariffs on us, but we don't put tariffs on them. And, I'm a free trade champion, and free trade has to be fair trade. And I think that's basically the position that you have put forward, Mr. President. We are going to eliminate the tariffs, and rapidly. I had the opportunity to speak to Secretary Lutnick yesterday. We talked about how we could effect this quickly, and I hope to bring a solution very quickly. We're not talking about intentions. We're not talking about just words. We're talking about results, and those results are going to come.
And so they're eliminating the deficit. They're eliminating tariffs. Tariffs are either for renegotiation or they are to bring jobs back. Can't be both. Sure, there are some irrelevant countries. Yeah, but I mean, I think it is for both in a sense, to where Trump's going to leave the tariffs on some countries and he's going to negotiate off of others. So to me, it depends on the country, I think. That's what I'm guessing Trump's going to do. Like, he's going to leave a lot of the tariffs on China. Some of them will probably be negotiated off, I think. But a lot of them are going to be left on China. EU, China, South America need to stay. I don't know, man. I mean, you're talking about an adjustment if that happens. But I agree. I mean, if you want to get boost domestic production, they have to stay on. That's the only way to do it. We'll eliminate the deficit, but you still got to send us $4 billion a year and fight it. Well, I mean, just the dynamic between the United States and Israel. It's just so, such a weird dynamic. I mean, the whole thing. Why were there tariffs in the first place? But you're down 164K. Well, you're I'm not going to say how much down I am, but you think the 4-year cycle in crypto is permanently broken? Well, I mean, the 4-year, let's see what happens in the next 6 months. It might be. We'll see what happens in the next 6 months. Would Israel send troops to defend our border against Canada? Yeah, but come on. I mean, what kind of an that would never even, that wouldn't even be needed. I mean, I know what you're trying to say, but who's winning tonight, Florida or Houston? I'll take Houston, man. If Houston wins, I think I'm going to be finishing like the 98th percentile, I think. Probably like 98th, 99th percentile. If Houston wins, it's a 50-50 game. It's a pick'em game. Let's call it what it is. Houston, though, they've got a better defensive team. Am I down 7 figures? No, I'm not down 7 figures. This is a good question. I'm not down 7 figures. Come on. You think I'm that bad of a trade? You think I'm that bad of an investor? Some altcoins aren't far off of their 2022 bear market lows. Yeah, I mean, it depends which coin you're talking about. But yeah, I know. I was looking at that today. I noticed a lot of these coins are just in just horrible positions right now. Maybe good buying opportunities, but I don't know. Why doesn't Trump do something to stop and cut back the money that we're sending to foreign countries every year? We might be okay with lower tariffs then. Or, well, they are trying to cut that back. Why do you think Trump immediately stopped the funding of Ukraine? That was the majority of where that foreign money was going. USAID was another one, USAID. Thank you for that, $5. It's so funny. Dems were saying Trump was going to be a dictator, and yet he's saving the country. The futures market is all green, by the way. Well, no, I hear what you're saying, and you know, we'll see what happens with Trump. But I certainly, we see the vision with Trump, and I try and explain it to people in terms of these tariffs and everything like that. And really, it's a noble thing what Trump is doing. I mean, he knows this is going to be a short-term loss. It's going to hurt the market short. It's going to hurt his approval rating. It's going to hurt a lot of stuff short-term in just, you know, short-sighted picture. Am I a whale? No, I don't know what you classify as a whale. I mean, honestly, depending on what you classify as a whale, I might have been a whale. If no, not anymore though. There's no way. You wouldn't believe my portfolio, man. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not the most catastrophic thing, but like if you told me my portfolio would be what it is today, like a year ago, I would be like, you're insane. We see the vision, but his own Republicans don't want to align with him. What, dissent you're talking about? Yeah, he said he would veto that. But I know there are some Republicans that are against these tariffs. But I mean, it's a big picture plan. What's with people talking about Stephen A. Smith? What you're saying? He announced he's running for president. These people are so obsessed with attention. I swear. This guy's been in politics for 1 minute, and he's like, "I'm running for president now." Okay, good luck, man. Just attention. Time to stop messing around. Life is great, especially at ESPN Disney. Hate the thought of being a politician, but sick of this mess. God, this shit is so tiring with these people. I don't want to be a politician, but there's so much I have to do to clean. Like, dude, come on. Obviously, you want power. You just admit it, bro. This shit is this like fake. I don't want to do it, but I'll do it to save the country. Give me a break. Your buddy is calling for a big crypto rally towards the end of the year. Well, yeah, he believes in the 4-year cycle. That's when the rally would happen. But I mean, we've had so much. I think it's very bullish what Bitcoin has done. You know, if this was an actual bear, you know, Bitcoin would probably be at like 50K right now. I don't know that for sure. I'm just making numbers up. But seriously, I mean, Bitcoin would probably be down. Wants to be Obama 2.0, but Obama No, it would be more like Trump, honestly, like the liberal version of Trump. You know, Democrats are trying to find like someone outside. I think they want Jon Stewart, but I don't know if Stewart would do it. But Democrats are trying to look for someone more abstract. I don't know why the sun is about to be shining here. It's a bit odd. It's about to set, but it's poking through. Dude can't even cover sports accurately or with effort, but he wants to take the highest office. Well, I mean, also, it's like, bro, maybe you should build yourself up a little bit. These guys, because of Trump, I mean, that's why it is. They think they could just like, oh, because I have a following, I immediately become, you know, a candidate to be the, you know, the president. It's because of Trump. You know, it used to be like a gate-kept thing, but now... Obama was Bush Jr. 2.0, but with better marketing. Well, but with an upgraded drone artillery. We got problems with the 10-year yield rising over 4.2%. Well, that's a single. That's a day. But look at like the last 3 weeks, that yield's gone down. Do you think Trump is going to take off the tariffs? You're going to be pissed if it was one giant bluff. No, Trump will definitely keep some tariffs on. He's too bought in at this point. But I think some of them will be negotiated off. The administration will swing it as a win because we're going to get a better trade situation with these countries, a better trade environment. There's going to be less barriers. There's going to be no tariffs on our goods. But some of them are going to remain in place. Supreme Court ruled on deporting Venezuelans. I know, I just looked at it. If you did an all-chalk bracket, you'd be at 99%. Honestly, probably not. An all-chalk bracket would have Auburn versus Duke in the national championship. The recovery under Obama was like 1.5% growth. Yeah, they had really bad stagnation under Obama in like 2015. That's why his approval rating went down like mid-second term. Keep tariffs on China, in my opinion. No, I mean, but they're getting hit really hard with tariffs. Like, I mean, he's up the tariffs. It's like 104% tariff or some shit. Trump says he may not reduce tariffs on Israel because the U.S. already gives them billions of dollars.
Do you plan to reduce the tariffs that your government put on Israeli goods, 70%?
On where?
On Israeli goods, the 70%. Do you plan
Well,
to
we're
reduce
talking about a whole new trade. Maybe not. Maybe not. Don't forget, we help Israel a lot. You know, we give Israel $4 billion a year. That's a lot. Congratulations, by the way. That's pretty good. But we give Israel billions of dollars a year.
Trump standing up to Israel. Trump standing up to Israel. Oh, man. Yeah, Shapiro's gonna have to come out with another monologue on how this is bad. You can't do this. Trump calling out Israel. Wait a minute. Oh man, I'm kind. Fanboy, we back Israel for another reason. Maybe you don't know. I don't know, man. I think Trump just bitched Israel out. Dude, but did you see Ben Shapiro's the dude's like my friend who's a jeweler. Oh, okay. Well, and then I saw Alex Jones go off on him about how diamonds were found in West Virginia, and the Israelis have like a control over them now or something. in the jewelry industry. Oh, Benny boy. Remember Benny? Well, they have to do this. They have to not capitulate because they would seem like bitches if they did it. They're gonna have to bow down to the United States because of the trade deficit. You have a massive trade surplus. You have no choice. You're not gonna find our consumer base trading with Taiwan. Well, I guess you know what? They got really angry at Trump because when Trump listed all the countries involved in the tariffs, he listed Taiwan, not Chinese Taipei. They got angry about it. Apparently, China did. They want to engulf Taiwan. Yeah, those are really small hands. It looks edited almost. Xi Jinping's hands. Would you ever make a 2020 election iceberg video or a video on odd irregular stuff that happened during it? I don't know, man. I think if I do another iceberg video, it'll probably be the Titanic. Or maybe the 9/11 2.0. I don't know. Well, you guys are just obsessed with the propaganda with rapid response. It's like it's a constant thing with rapid response. I mean, I guess they have clips and stuff. Supreme Court news, good news. More Supreme Court. Kim Jong-un election map. What is that a reference to that one? Is that a reference to the one map that I did in the summer? Got 120 likes on a Trump 2028 post and counting. Well, knowing you, you paid for X ads, I'm sure. That's the only I'm joking. Although maybe not though. I mean, you're constantly donating me and telling me about Trump 2028. Sean, what's up? The whale enters. The whale lands. Why are dudes checking out another dude's hands? Come on, don't be weird. The dude looked like he had really small hands in that photo, let's be honest. I mean, we could admit it. Remember, Marco Rubio is the judge of small hands. He should look at Xi Jinping's hands and tell us, are these small hands? These are actually really normal size hands. China securing their rare earths. Yeah, they're freaking out. They're pissed off we're about to take Greenland and just get like unlimited rare earths and all the minerals, and they're pissed off. He's too old to do another term. I mean, yeah, that dude always comments that, though. We have Congo, too. 24 trillion in rare earths we have access to. Yeah, I know. I was reading up on the Congo. Well, they manipulated them, unfortunately, and gave them a predatory loan like they always do through Belt and Road. And then they just steal all their rare earths. It's unfortunate. Well, they steal all their cobalt. They have huge cobalt deposits in the Congo. We have Congo. No, China does. Imagine we get Alberta and Greenland by the end of the year. Yeah, I highly doubt that. Dude, getting Greenland is going to be a PR nightmare. I mean, like, we might be the only people that want Greenland, seriously. I mean, like, nobody wants Green. Well, it's just, I guess people aren't educated on it, or, you know, when you take over a country, it's seen as this horrible thing, which I can understand. And the administration needed to do a better job of, they need to do a better job of getting the people of Greenland on board. And so once you do that, it'll be an easy acquisition. You pay your own health insurance. It's expensive. I'm going to. Yeah, it's not going to be fun. I'm going to have to soon. But I'll have to see. I'm sure there's certain things I could get under. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm definitely going to pay for good health insurance, though. I do like having the protection. You didn't vote for Greenland to get a point? Well, yeah, we could just take Greenland with military, but, you know, you don't want to do that. You guarantee Trump gets Greenland and Canada is just posture for the big ask? What do you mean the big ask? Are you talking about our trade renegotiation? Where are you from, DG? I'm from Connecticut. Ye's new album, World War III. You're talking about? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not into rap. I'm not into rap, man. That's not my lane. Alberta is welcome to join the U.S. Absolutely, they are, and it depends what happens with the election. I need to start an exercise program. Listen, I used to do some cardio, man. I used to really I could do 30 minutes on Stairmaster. Not anymore, but I used to be able to do that. Connecticut represent. Hey, I live in Bristol, Connecticut, next to ESPN's headquarters. I live next to Megyn Kelly. Does she live in Connecticut? You have a heavy Ohio accent. You don't have accents for states, man. There's no Midwest accent. Can you show the Ben Shapiro clip again? What, the one where he's bitching about his friend in the jewelry business? Are you talking about? Probably it'll probably come right up.
Yesterday, President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day. His giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs impose hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases.
But it's all liberal BS. Tax increase in what form? Are you talking about inflation? It's impossible to calculate any of that. We don't know which tariffs are staying on versus which are coming off. This is bullshit, bitching, liberal talking points.
Increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers. It will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real-world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits. Trade deficits are a...
I don't think this is the clip.
Yesterday, President plummeted more than 3%. Yesterday, Israel announced zero tariffs on any American goods. The Trump administration hit them with a 17% tariff anyway, claiming that they had a 33% tariff rate on American goods, which clearly is not true. Why? Because it turns out that we buy more stuff from the Israelis than the Israelis buy from us. Shocker. They're a smaller country. We're a giant market. Not a giant shock, as it turns out. So this is pretty crazy. I have friends, for example, who import product to the United States and then sell them. Why? Because they can't get the product in the United States. So, for example, I have a friend who's in the jewelry business. And this friend in the jewelry business imports products that are not capable of being manufactured or found in the United States from abroad. So it's not like there's import substitution you can just buy from an American. That's not how it works. This, by the way, this company is an American company.
Why are there tariffs on anyways?
The tariff that is now being applied to all of his imports is like 35, 40%. Those prices will get passed directly on to the consumers if consumption goes down, if investment goes down, because investors are freaked out because they're getting whipsawed like nobody's business. Again, I was talking with investors pretty much all day yesterday, given what was going on. And the number one thing that I was hearing from major investors is, I don't know what the hell is going on. That was the number one thing, before and after. The amount of confusion, chaos in the markets, a feeling of complete dyspeptic ulcer-ridden kind of churn. That is very...
Dyspeptic ulcer. But I mean, it's all of the liberal bullshit talking points. I mean, obviously, you know, there's going to be a downturn in the market. Trump knew that. It's like, what does Shapiro think? Does he think Trump says, I'm going to announce all these tariffs and the market's going to go up 20%? There's obviously going to be a downturn in it. He's bitching because his Israeli friends got hit with a tariff and it's, I guess, going to hurt their business. But I mean, why did Israel have tariffs on the United States in the first place after all we've given them? And now they've removed them, but come on. Why not lower the prices if consumption goes down? Well, right, exactly. But I mean, that's they're just going to talk about their argument, and then we'll hit them. It'll just be back and forth. I mean, there's always going to be trade-offs when you're talking about tariffs. It is what it is. Yeah, the prices might go up in certain sectors. Obviously, there's a strategy. Trump has talked about tariffs for a while. I mean, nobody thought that Trump would do this many tariffs, but you know, another thing that they make, the point that they make in terms of it's a blanket tariff on every country is China, and some of these other trading partners with us, they'll use other countries to, you know, ship the products to those countries, and then those countries trade with us, and then they get around the tariff. So, you know, there's a number of things you have to do to try and combat that. But obviously, you know, to me, this is 100% Trump. You know, there was a report that Trump talked to like three close advisors or something, and he's just like, just do it. You know, so obviously, it was, you know. How likely do you see a war with Iran in the next 3 to 12 months? You still don't think people are talking about this enough? Well, I certainly hear a lot of that. I hear a lot of it. I mean, I guess it depends who you're talking to in terms of where you're getting your news from. But yeah, it's you know, a war by proxy, but you know, we'll have to see. Pull by Overton on 328. What is that, March 28th? Obama at 53, Trump at 47 in 2028. Trump can win. He usually, dude, come on. You're talking to me about a poll on a hypothetical matchup with two ineligible presidents, and you're speculating about it. Come on, bro. We need to tariff the Penguins. Well, did you see what they asked Ludnick about it? Margaret Brennan, I think, you know, that the rabid liberal anchor, news anchor. She's like, was this done by AI? You're tariffing this island that's only inhabited by penguins. And then he said, well, no, because they'll run their trade through there. So you have to tariff everything to keep them from doing that. Would you ever do ad reads? I'm really not a fan of that, man. I'm not a fan of reading ads or anything. I never done that. I'd prefer not to do it. I think it may not stay only proxy for long, but I'm not sure either. Great work. Will it be proxy, the United States giving stuff to... Well, the United States possibly bombing them. I know there were troops that got transported, like 300K troops that got transported. I mean, Trump has to know that that can't happen. I mean, this might just be to force a nuclear deal with Iran. They need some coaxing. So you threaten them and you deploy troops in certain areas to speed up the process on them signing a nuclear deal, hopefully. Imagine China just says fuck it and invaded Taiwan because of the economic trade war. Yeah, well, did you see, you know, I saw, I minimized, I X'd it out, but I had a article pulled up that has these new barges that China uses, which is, they've got like 3 ships together, and then, or they're 3 barges together with like a massive bridge, and it's gonna, supposedly, I mean, they have to secure the airspace to deploy these things because they're just such an obvious target, but it's gonna make it easy for them to do a land invasion of Taiwan. But I mean, think about it, dude. I was looking this up. Because of the Taiwan strain and how choppy the waters are, you're looking at 2 months out of the year. I mean, maybe there might be other months, but they say really only 2 months out of the year can you invade Taiwan from China because of how choppy the Taiwan Strait is. It's April and October. What does Russia do if Trump bombs Iran? I think Russia is focused on whatever they're doing with Ukraine. But obviously they would not be happy. Do you find it interesting how we are even at 50-50 in how even our elections are? Yeah, they are. They're very even in terms of the popular. Will we ever see a Reagan type thing? Well, I think a lot of this is... You know, both of the parties are so divided, mainly I think because of the internet, and it's just really ever since Trump, the Trump era has just divided everything so much more. Like a massive blowout like that, I can't see it. There's too many, there'd have to be too many shifts. I mean, if anything, the liberals had a chance for that more so than we did. Because, I mean, they were thinking about taking Texas. At that point, they had, you know, Florida. I mean, during the, like, Obama in 08, it wasn't Reagan, but it was an easy victory against McCain. 2012, Romney performed a little bit better. Doesn't matter if tariffs are rolled back, damage is already done for American stocks. Well, that's not, yeah, but that's very short term. It doesn't matter. Like, if anything, Trump would want the damage so the interest rates could be lowered. Let's go to Area 51. Nobody can stop us. Dude, that'd be, imagine They invited me, but I mean, you go to Area 51, it's like a neutered tour. They'll just show you like 3 things and then send you home. I'll be like, I'm an investigative journalist. I've got a following. They'll say, here, take a look at this fucking machine gun. Now go home. You know, there's probably more. Like, think about it. An actual secured military base. Area 51 is a dummy. Why would we know where the goods are? I'm sure they got some stuff in Area 51. I'm just saying. Look at the jump in the market did today when the fake news came out. It jumped like crazy in a couple minutes. Yeah, well, they released fake news to try and alleviate some of the pain. So it makes sense. Tariffs would end up cheapening the quality of goods imported to the United States over long term because companies always find a way to make their profits. Yeah, but ideally there'd be enough competition in the United States to where the money that's paid by U.S. companies in terms of the tariffs, you're either making revenue off of the tariffs if you're the government, or hopefully we're going to get domestic production. But it affects future trade partners already looking elsewhere for trade deals. Yeah, but that's a bunch of liberal bullshit. You're not going to replace the U.S. consumer base. It's impossible. I mean, I understand there could be countries that go to each other. That's, you know, but it's not going to be nearly as good. That's why all these countries are trying to negotiate out of this. Why aren't they just trading all with China? All of these countries are trying to negotiate with Trump out of this. If liberals were right, and they would just all go to China and trade with them. But they can't. You don't like MTG? Yeah, MTG is obnoxious. I mean, you see MTG. She really is a MAGA, though. You got to give her credit for that. Volume output is low. I mean, it should be pretty normal. Can you turn up your mic? I mean, is it really that bad? It's normal, something wrong. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, come on. Supreme Court just nuked the Dems' plan. I mean, this is how the Supreme Court should be ruling. Trump was installed to do this. Will China fold tomorrow? I mean, that would be fast. I don't think they'll fold tomorrow. Honestly, you are right. Trump gave them an ultimatum. They have to do it by tomorrow. There'll be another tariff on them. So yeah, they're going to have to fold tomorrow. What's the deal with Elon and Peter beefing with? Yeah, I saw that. Well, didn't Musk say something? I think this is what happened. Musk said something, I guess, about the tariffs. What did even Musk say? This is a problem with some of these billionaires. Like, they're like all, it's so, you have to like decipher their messaging and stuff. But Musk like came out against the tariffs, I guess, in a way. And then Navarro said, well, obviously, because his cars, it's going to cost him more to make. You know, you get parts from overseas, so he's angry about it. Seems Tesla attacks are getting less. Well, I mean, it has to calm down at some point. But they might still be happening. They're just not, showing them as much. Huh. This is an appointed Trump. And you got to when you appoint these people, they got to be really right wing. You got to make sure. ACB. Musk will be soon gone. He is questioning your king. How dare a dude with a 200 IQ? Well, Musk is angry because the tariffs are going to affect Tesla. So, I mean, if he's really mad about that, well, I mean, Trump is his job is to do what's best for the United States, not what's best for Tesla. I know, dude. It's like you go with you finally. It's like Trump's trying to be appoint a woman justice, and then this is the repayment. But I mean, it serves Trump right on. It's like, what do you expect? Something happened to her after getting appointed. I did see some conspiracies about that. Love from Washington. The 40% of us love Trump. Your high school is MAGA. Washington State. Yeah, Washington was like 60-40, I'd say. Impeach ACB and Roberts. It is very annoying when you finally get control of it and then these people vote. I mean, thankfully it's 6-3 and not 5-4 because that would have been the decider. Hopefully it becomes 7-2. You were told that this court was just a rubber stamp for Trump's agenda, right? You'd think everything would be 6-3 then. But they've already ruled against one of the deportation things that Trump was trying to pass, and put MTG on the Supreme Court. Well, she would definitely vote whatever Trump wanted, that's for sure. What are the chances we get President AOC at some point? That's too liberal, too obnoxious. Listen, if you get AOC, you have to understand something. The country is going to shift. Like, this is the thing. With the United States, I do think we're different than Europe. I think we've got more hardened right-wingers at this point. Europe's been neutered after World War II. They got completely neutered. If you get someone like AOC, you're going to get someone really far right-wing after that. I'll say that. Because there'll be a correction. It's not like Europe where it's just constant socialist bullshit. I highly doubt AOC. They would have AOC maybe as a VP, but she's still too young anyways, I think, for anyone to really vote for her. AOC has charisma for her insane base. I mean, yeah, but if you don't have a big enough base, does it really matter? I mean, obviously, that's with politics, that's part of the battle is getting popular enough, having name recognition. So she's gotten that for sure. Way more so than a lot of the other Democrats. Is Kamala running in 2028? I don't know. I don't think she'll have any chance to win in 2028. This is all just they have no leader, so she leads those polls and then people read into it. Man, it's basically 75-25. My goodness. Give us our provinces. Give the United States our provinces. Or the conservative. Yeah, the conservatives blue in Canadian politics. Looks like they're going to try Newsom. I mean, well, it looks like it. It's like it could look like anything right now. We're way too far away. Trump should have picked a Christian mem on the Supreme Court. You're trying to be you're trying to be progressive if you're Trump with it, and it seems to be biting him. You still think Alberta might become a part of the U.S.? It would require Carney winning. And then I think there would probably be there'd probably be a push. I don't know how far it would get, but there would be a push. But the thing is, I was looking at the Canadian laws and everything like that. The thing, even if they have a referendum, I believe the Canadian government still has to vote in terms of allowing them to leave. Now, it could get a little bit more messy, let's just say. Obviously, the Canadian government is not going to want to lose Alberta because of the amount of resources they have. But they're going to be very angry if Carney wins. So they could have a referendum to leave, and then they could say, we're leaving, and then the government could say, no, you're not, and then Trump could say, you better give us them or else, and then maybe they would give us them, something like that would play out. I don't know. Trump wanted Carney to win. Yeah, I agree. With all that talk, all the rhetoric of annexing them. See, if I'm Trump, to me, look, Israel's down. If I'm Trump, ideally you wouldn't want to do Israel first. Not Israel first. Not Israel first. Come on. But Israel has said they're eliminating the deficit and everything like that, so. But just the way it would look for the administration. Yeah, Japan said they want to negotiate the tariffs with Trump. How about Alberta just become a standalone independent country apart from Canada first, and years later become a part of the United States? Yeah, no, that's something that could happen. But it would also be a process in terms of them joining the United States. The problem is they really wouldn't have any military protection if they became standalone, which very likely wouldn't matter at all. They could get away with that just because where they're located. Japan is weird. 1 minute media says they're with China. The next minute say they want to negotiate with the United States. Yeah, well, there was something that came out that like China, South Korea, Japan were coming together to like counter the tariffs. I guess that's not happening. I don't know. Maybe it will. The 2028 Democratic presidential primary debates are going to be off the rails. The Democrat debates normally are boring, but yeah, if you get AOC in there, I guess. The thing is with their party, those debates are all going to be actual like very leftist people versus like establishment liberals. That's what those debates would be. or I guess I should say just establishment Democrats, which the leftists like AOC would say they're moderates. You think the Dem debates of 28 will be like the Republicans ones of 16? I don't think so. 16 was just different. Plus, I really am not as invested into the liberal debates as the conservative ones. Vance, Kerry Lake, not Kerry Lake. No, thank you. What are the chances we lose the Senate? Dude, I saw something on the Senate. I was shocked. It was like, I thought we had like a 90% chance, but I saw like betting it was at a 60% chance. But I think based off of the elections that are going to be happening within the Senate, we're pretty much guaranteed 51. So 51-49 majority, but that's worst case scenario. I think we could get 54-55. But the House is the big problem. I mean, we'll see. You know, right now is like the lowest I feel like Trump will be, unless something happens with Iran. But it should be like the lowest Trump will be in terms of approval and like overall sentiment, because these tariffs are going into place and everything's going down, and we haven't seen the payoff yet. Hopefully some of the payoff happens before the midterms, ideally. Like the economy will be in a better spot before the midterms. Liberal debates are pure circus. The only thing I remember about the liberal debates is when they said, please raise your hand. How many of you will support illegal immigrants' right to like fucking like have a 5-star hotel room? And they all raised their hand. Like, oh, that's great. Did Trump cancel the meeting with Netanyahu? They've canceled the press conference they were going to be having on the tariff thing. But then they had a no, they didn't really cancel it. There was something that got canceled, but it wasn't like, they still had the Oval Office meeting and everything. They were going to do a press conference where they get questions and stuff like they did back, you know, a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, and they canceled that. But I mean, they were still taking questions in the Oval Office, so I don't know. But I guess there would be more, you know, there would be tougher questions if you actually do a press conference. What's the approval now? It's like 47-48 for Trump, I think. Olivier rally in Alberta could be the biggest in Canadian history tonight. Yeah, if he's in Alberta, I would imagine it should be a big crowd for him, because they got that election's coming now in like 3 weeks. Check stock futures. We're so back. Really? They're up? Dude, I gotta get in like immediately. I gotta get in ASAP. I'm gonna get left behind. I know I already got stuff in, but I got the FOMO. It's actually a good time to have FOMO when the market's this bad. You don't want to wait, and people will get FOMO in like 3 weeks. Oh, this is who you're talking about. Yeah, people keep talking about this guy. All Trump had to do was close the door and not speak and do nothing. If he did, you'd still would have your allies, your economy would be respected worldwide. I mean, what are you referencing exactly? Our economy being respected worldwide. I mean, it's all these bullshit platitudes that are meaningless. Oh, people don't respect you. What does that even mean? It's weak bullshit. Is Ben Shapiro crashing out over what happened? I mean, Trump did bitch out Netanyahu. Let's be honest, he did. Not that it'll really matter or anything, but I didn't even notice that happened until I watched on the stream. He's just like, listen, we're not going to remove the taxes off of Israel. We give them enough money. Don't we give you guys a lot? $4 billion. That's a lot of money. You know how Trump is. You bought some Apple? Dude, you know, I was looking at some of those, the blue chip stocks, but I don't know. I mean, really, I should be managing my money better. What are you going to do? Stock market equals casino? No. I guess it depends what you buy. A lot of stocks are stable. Trump congratulated Netanyahu for the $4 billion. Oh, man. U.S. the biggest economy in the world. Everyone wants to trade with them. U.S. holds all their cards. Don't accept tariffs. No trade for you. Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%. You can't replace our consumer base. So who are you going to trade with? Why aren't these other countries just trading with each other? They're all coming to us saying we want to eliminate all of our tariffs because obviously they want our consumer base. Very important to them. Do you consider crypto more gambling or investing? Well, crypto, the definition of it is investing. Like, no matter which way you slice it, you're buying. The pure definition is investing. It's not gambling. Now, you might say in theory it's gambling because you're buying something that doesn't have any actual utility to it. But it's an investment to where you buy something, you get a certain amount of coins, which is basically shares, and, you know. You think Japan first to get a free trade agreement? Yeah, they would be a pretty good bet right now at 18%. But, I mean, it's just, we're just speculating. Will Trump reduce majority of tariffs before July? I mean, that's a vague question. $39 countries? I don't even, this is a vague question. Wasn't there some connection with Netanyahu and Silverstein back in the day? Yeah, Silverstein would call Netanyahu, I think, every Sunday afternoon. Or it was like once a week in the afternoon. I found that when I was looking up 9/11 stuff on that Silverstein video. Florida, Houston coming. Yeah, that, you know, they changed the start time of that. With these games, let me actually see the spread on this preview. This used to be like a 9:30 start. They changed it just because people on the East Coast bitched so much. You can't really put a perfect time to start one of these games with all the time zones, but I mean, most of the viewership is from the East Coast anyway, so it's like, it does make sense. Honestly, like an 8:30 start would probably make the most sense out of anything. They got Florida -1.5. It's basically a pick 'em. Look at the analytics. They like Houston. Yeah, Florida's better offensively. That's probably why they have Florida as a slight favorite. I mean, if Houston wins, I'll tell you guys what my bracket finish. I mean, It'll be probably like 95th, 99th percentile, somewhere in there.
From the Times of Israel, the IDF is fighting again in the Gaza Strip. I myself might be called up in a month. Do you think that's the way to pressure Hamas to get to a deal? And do you think blocking humanitarian aid is also an effective pressure tactic?
Well, you know how I feel about the Gaza Strip. I think it's an incredible piece of important real estate, and I think it's something that we would be involved in, but, you know, having a peace force like the United States there, controlling and owning the Gaza Strip would be a good thing. Because right now, all it is for years and years, all I hear about is killing and Hamas and problems. And if you take the people, the Palestinians, and move them around to different countries, and you have plenty of countries that will do that, and you really have a freedom zone. You call it the freedom zone, a free zone, a zone where people aren't going to be killed every day. That's a hell of a place.
From the Times of Israel, the
So
IDF
Vance
is
just
fighting
sits
again in the
there. Who's that? Hegseth, Vance, and Rubio? Oh, shit. I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. I think it lagged. I think it's good. It's back, correct? No, it's back. I don't know. My computer just stopped working after that video. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just because I have too many tabs open. Yeah.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is,
Yeah, white Europeans.
ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now.
It's like we're a country of immigrants. Well, no, they're settlers, and then it's like the country. I mean, I'm not even gonna get into this because people will call me, but
Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
I don't even know what she's talking about. What is her point? She was talking about immigrants and then says we're done picking cotton. So the immigrants pick cotton? You can't even understand what the point. I guess the point is, will the immigrants do all the hard, like, slave labor now? Is that the point? It's just like, how is that a good point? What do you... Iran trying to shut down your channel? Yeah, I love all the conspiracy and all that. It's just a bad. It's just when I have all these tabs open. So are we in a trade war? We're definitely in a trade war with China. But there's going to be negotiations with these other countries. So I don't, there's going to be a trade war with some of these countries. That is what it is. Dave Portnoy mad about whining about how much money he's losing. Clown. Is Tucker more right wing than Trump? Yeah, I would say definitely. I mean, I haven't, I'll see snippets of Tucker, but Tucker's gone really right wing. He's like the mainstream. Could you argue Tucker's like the most right wing mainstream guy? I don't know. Does anyone else have other people? Talking about like mainstream conservatives. He was on Fox News. It's just he's gone really right wing with the stuff that he's been saying recently. Steve Bannon mainstream. Yeah, but I guess Steve Bannon is mainstream. I don't know. Is he? Do you have a fancy computer? I mean, I've got a pretty good computer. It's about a year old only. It's a PC, yeah. But I have a PC and a Mac. I actually have two PCs now. I had an older PC that I used for 2 years, and then I got this new one. It's like kind of a gaming PC hybrid, I guess. You don't think Trump is as right wing? You think he's more nationalist? Well, I mean, in the modern climate, he is right wing, but I guess it depends what you classify as right wing, like your exact definition. I mean, I put it under a pretty big umbrella, just speaking in like modern. Yeah, well, I saw someone in the chat say China is obsessed with like perception and showing strength. So I wonder how they'll approach this. You build it yourself? Hell no. I didn't build it myself. If anything, Trump is moderate, especially if you compare his takes to Democrats from 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, that's just the country shifting. That's the West shifting to the left. That's really that's a symptom of it. So now you get right-wing people that are more moderate. And maybe there's going to be a pushback with Gen Z. It seems like there's likely going to be.
We're having direct talks with Iran, and they've started. It'll go on Saturday. We have a very big meeting, and we'll see what can happen. And I think everybody agrees that doing a deal would be preferable to doing the obvious. And the obvious is not something that I want to be involved with, or frankly, that Israel wants to be involved with if they can avoid it. So we're going to see if we can avoid it. But it's getting to be very dangerous territory. And hopefully those talks will be successful. And I think it would be in Iran's best interest if they are successful. We hope that's going to happen. We're having direct talks with Iran.
You got ripped off then unless you build it yourself. Yeah, I know, but it's just easier. But listen, that's encouraging news. You need to have talks. It's important.
and it's tariff city. Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand them. I don't. Like, it's more a trade deficit tariff to me. Like, hey, we get this much from you and you get this much from us. Let's even that up.
Why'd they censor
Let's get
that?
some wacky formula and do tariffs. And everything's in the because of it. I almost tweeted out, Dave, how much you down right now and today? 7 million. I'm down 7 million bucks in stocks and crypto. I think Trump's a smart guy. You may not love him. I think he's smart. Howard Lutnick, I like him. I think he's smart.
Trump's handler.
I think they're smarter than me when it comes to these tariffs. And I also think he's playing a high stakes game here. I'm gonna roll with him for a couple days, couple weeks, and see how this pans out. But my impression of Trump, he makes big moves, big statements, sees how people play it off. The art of the deal is a moving thing.
Yeah, but does he understand the actual logic behind them? Yeah, people are saying he's drunk. I mean, he certainly looks a little disheveled. You bet Portnoy is down on greed 3. Remember that? Remember when he kept doing that? I think he launched, like, he stealth launched grade 4 or some shit. I'm down 8. Yeah, I'm down 8 million. He's down 7 million. I'm not bitching about it. No, it's better to not have much money when you're younger, so you have to work. It's not coping. You need to work for your legacy. I mean, you want to have, like, I just want to have a certain amount of money just put away, just as, so I can do whatever I want, you know, so I don't have to, like, ever be in a situation to where, you know, you're beholden to someone else. Like, that's what I want. But I don't need like $20 million or anything like that, especially at a young age. I don't think it's good for a person. I think you need more of a hunger. Why would rich people risk stocks anyways? Why not just keep money as money? Because rich people are the by far the most that make money off of stocks, because the stock market is very reliable, extremely reliable. Even a drop like this, that's why they're all bitching about it, because they're not used to this. Because it's just normally it just goes up at 7, 8, 9, 10% every year, whether it's the Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones, whatever index. And so they're all in it because it's easy to compound money when you've got a lot of money. I mean, think about it. You've got, like, if the average return is 10% on the S&P, you put, $10 million into it. Average return is $1 million, and just not free money. Some years it'll go down. But in general, you're going to get a solid return, and it's compounded. So if you invest more, it'll be easier to make more. That's why people like me and like a lot of people in the chat, we have to invest in a crypto, because we don't have the $10 or $20 million already accumulated to go safely into stocks. We've got a lot less money to play with, so we need higher risk, higher reward investments. Hoping Florida takes down Houston. Game just started. Yeah, I hope Houston wins, honestly. NASDAQ was down like 30% in 2022 Biden year. Yeah, 2022 was a terrible year for everything. With inflation as well. I mean, it was just like a horrible compound. Like, you have crazy inflation, so your purchasing power is weaker, and a horrible market. Rich love crypto too. Well, yeah, like, I was gonna say Ethereum, not really anymore. Like the rich people go definitely in on Bitcoin. XRP is a big one with really rich people. A lot of rich people like XRP, Solana. I mean, whatever the top market cap coins are, because those are deemed safer. What does Polymarket say about the Fed cuts? It's like there's like a 30% chance of it. The next Fed meeting. The next Fed meeting is basically in a month. It's on May 9th. And then the one after that is June 17th. The June 17th one has a higher chance, but I mean, that's probably going to change. Hopefully we get like back-to-back-to-back cuts, like 3 or 4 cuts straight. But I mean, I think we need the inflation data on the 10th. Once we get the inflation data, and that would imagine the inflation data should be down again. I mean, it has to pressure them to cut it. XRP investor here, far from rich. Yeah, I know, but a lot of rich people love XRP too. You understand, because of its market cap. And also, it's such a normie coin anyways. GOP in 2022 could have had a huge majority in the House, huge majority in the Senate if they weren't for Roe. Even there was still fraud in Nevada and Arizona. Yeah, but Roe v. Wade saved them in 2022. Because normally what you'll get is Biden won in 2020, and then you'll get a red wave in 2022. And they, and Biden was not approved of at that point in 2022 anyways. His approval rating was dropping rapidly. They won because in the summer it was Roe v. Wade. That's really the main reason. June 17th is like 90%. Yeah, no, I agree. I was just saying what the odds were on the site. But I agree. They have to cut on June in June if they don't do it in May. Gonna go cry about his $7 million loss. Imagine how much he has. But yeah, he sold Barstool for a fuck ton of money and then bought it back for $1. That was his story, because they sold it to a gambling company and then they couldn't keep Barstool because I guess it was like they make more degenerate type videos, and so they didn't want to deal with it or something. Eric, Trump, and Don Jr. have been loading up on Ethereum and have been pushing World Liberty Financial Stablecoin. Yeah, I know. Hopefully, Ethereum is just... There's a funny thing with Eric Trump telling people to buy Ethereum, and now it's down like 48% since he said that. But I think Ethereum, hopefully, we need it to go back up significantly. There are good buying opportunities. I might have to... Maybe I'll deploy a little bit tomorrow, honestly. But I have to stop after that because I'm going to have expenses. But maybe I'll deploy some tomorrow. Just into a few coins to where I could buy a certain amount and have just more positions, more potential to turn it into like 6-figure wins. Greenland sure has been bumped off the radar. Well, it's the news cycle. Greenland was bumped off the radar a month ago as well, and then it entered the news cycle. So that's what happens. When Trump got elected, you had your biggest run on crypto ever. I had a major run in crypto in January, and then it just tanked. But you're definitely in way different coins than me. You're in much higher market cap coins, so it's a lot more stable. Larry Fink won't rule out another 20% market drop. You should put all of your money right now in crypto. In 6 months, you'll have millions. It's easy to say that. Come on. It does seem like a good time to buy, yes. DCA is still ideal for most, despite your bad luck. Yeah, but nobody DCAs, bro. None of us DCA. We dump into coins and stuff. DCAing is like... You gotta have patience and tolerance to do that. And it's... Here promises to fire the governor of the bank if elected. Most Canadians polled still think Carney is most qualified despite being Trudeau's economic advisor and having ministers. Yeah, it's unfortunate what's going on there, man. For your sake, I hope Paul Vier wins, but it's not looking too good. DCA is the smartest way to invest. Only idiots go all in. Well, it's not really all in. If you're buying multiple different assets at different times, I mean, you might go all in at a certain time on a coin, but if you're buying multiple different assets, it just, when you DCA, a lot of it is just the fun. I've seen all these people that are fundamental get just wrecked trying to DCA into coins, and but I mean, that's crypto and it is lower cap coins, but, you DCA and you just keep catching a falling knife. I mean, I guess DCA, it's obviously if you're buying something very stable like the NASDAQ or the S&P, it's a lot easier to do. Looks like Trump will strike a deal with Japan first. Their market index is up 6% right now. Well, are they meeting? Because I saw Japan said they wanted to meet with Trump on it. So if they are meeting, that's probably bullish news on them striking a deal. China just released an official statement on Twitter. We will fight to the end. That's a dumbass statement. You'll fight to the end of what? I mean, that doesn't even sound good for their people. Futures were up 1.6% 3 minutes ago, now 0.95. Things are moving quickly in both directions. Yeah. I mean, it's an evolving time in our current economy because we don't know what Trump's going to do. We don't know how many of these tariffs are going to stay on, how many of them are going to be taken off. Put Ted Cruz on the Supreme Court, replace Thomas. I did hear that. I did hear someone else was talking about Ted Cruz being added. You DCA 10 to 20% of your paychecks for 4 years. Yeah, I know, man. But these markets are so brutal, especially in crypto. But there's a few coins that I missed out on. Is it 2 or 3? I think it's 2 coins. There were 2 coins that I should have invested a lot of money into, and I would have made a ton. At least I would have a fallback. Only boomers DCA. Yeah, because in crypto, you really can't I mean, unless it's like a high alt. Really, in crypto, you should DCA because of how volatile it is, but it's one of those things, you see a coin really low. I mean, trust me, I really haven't had much success not DCAing, but then again, it's like, there's a discipline that's required to DCA. It's annoying. Ted Cruz is 54. Trump should pick someone younger. Yeah, if the right person comes, as young as possible, honestly. But 54 is not bad. You DCA by accident because you gamble and win gradually. So what? You buy in and then it's kind of impossible to DCA by accident, honestly, man. Total strategy 100% effective. Nah, you might hodl the top and then miss it. Trump would hope those 2 old liberal judges Obama picked first term, Aldo and Campbell retired. would give them 8-1 conservative majority, 4 judges. And yeah, I think the thought is it's going to be probably 7-2, but ACB's been voting liberal, but it should be a good majority. You gonna watch WrestleMania? No, I mean, I haven't watched a WrestleMania in forever. When I was younger, I watched WWE. You have over 1K lib replies due to Trump 2028 post. Oh yeah, I mean, you'll get that. It's cesspool on X. What happened with Black Monday? Yeah, I think we went down like 0.5%. Like 1% maybe. You know, that fake rumor saved it. It was never going to be Black Monday, but there's always overreactions. Thoughts on Trump wanting to revitalize U.S. shipbuilding industry? Yeah, it is a good idea. I was looking into it, and the amount of ships we produce is extremely subpar, especially compared to China and other countries. So it's something that should be done for sure. What was the country that we got most of our ships from? It was like Indonesia or some country. I don't know who it was in terms of shipbuilding. $200 IQ rumor. yeah, you know the administration leaked to that. They're like, we're done with this. We have to keep these tariffs on, but we're going to say they're coming off. That's a way to stop it. There is a way to stop it. Maybe Philippines. Indonesia has a huge maritime industry. Yeah, I knew it was one of those. Like, I think it was in Indonesia. Chinese market opens in 20 minutes. Send it lower. Put pressure on them. Have you seen one of the crazy Chinese ships meant to be land containers on shore? Are you talking about a barge? We will fight to the end. What a dumb comment to make. I know, like, what like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, your country, like, what does that entail exactly? What an ominous post. Who said that? China? Apparently, they said, we'll fight to the end. What is the benefit of building more ships if drones are the future? Shouldn't we focus on building? Yeah, but we have our shipping industry has been completely shot. For a country as big as the United States, it's inexcusable not to have a greater shipbuilding maritime industry. So yeah, I mean, and also ships are still very valuable. Supreme Court slapping down judges left and right. Well, they always knew it was going to happen. These are charade liberal judges who are doing it as like an activism thing. It's a joke. Because there's already this narrative that Trump is like a fascist, so it's like anything Trump does is unconstitutional. And then the Supreme Court. Well, I mean, that's the thing with liberals in the first term. They tried to impeach him every chance they got. They're going to try and do it again if they get the House. They hate Trump, and they don't care about putting the country through all this bullshit and the Russia hoax and the call with the call with Ukraine and You can use ships to deploy drones. Yeah, even the smaller ships are going to be valuable in terms of deploying drones. Please stream for a little into the Chinese market opening. Well, I mean, I can't. I'm not. If it opens at 10 o'clock, I'm not going to stream until then. I was trying to find if this this song had copyright. I think it does, because I want to have a song like before my you know, on the loading screen. Oh, good to see Houston. Yeah, this is good. This is a really good start for Houston. Low scoring, you know, low scoring. Asian markets open higher despite Trump's latest China tariff threat. Man, what a cancerous thing to look at. You can barely even tell. You have a good friend who has sadly developed full-on TDS? Damn. You should study him and report back to a doctor. Thoughts on the bought and paid for hands-off protests? Is that what they're called, hands-off, or is that just a specific protest you're mentioning? Yeah, I mean, the protests are weak, and I mean, the question is, how bad will they get in the summer? If they're this bad right now with the weather, I mean, you can only imagine. Put the whose side are you on in the intro song? I think I'd lose viewers if I did that. I'd lose viewers. Really tired of China. They're a rising power, and we're just letting them. Well, we're also contributing to it through trade. Now you don't mind other countries getting stronger, but China not what I'd like. Well, yeah, because other countries are a lot weaker than China. We wouldn't really mind with other countries. But I mean, with China, it's like they've already got such a massive, you know, population advantage over us. Like, I understand we want to be number one. Is MSNBC still up for sale? I think that was fake news. They were like, I don't know, there was something weird with that, to where they weren't actually for sale. Had a debate with a guy who said that you were down a right-wing echo chamber. You get your news from my channel. Oh man. See, I'm very, tell him I'm very non-biased. Tell him I'm a minority. Check the Houston score. Still a 4-point lead. Yeah, Houston's going to win this game. I got a feeling of it. I think Houston will win. But like, all of this is very short term. We're talking about the Dow futures. Come on, like, everything will be fine and things will start to recover. And maybe this is the actual low. This might be the low. This might be the local bottom. Trump is a sweet old man. Yeah, that's when it gets really, really simpy for Trump. Will you make a propaganda video for Trump now that he's standing up to be? Yeah, dude, I was thinking about doing it, but I don't know, because it's going to be old news by tomorrow. But I could still maybe make the video. I didn't realize, I really got to watch like these entire, Because the thing is I just get most of my news on X. I miss half of this shit. Like, if I would have seen those clips, I would have done a video probably. Well, honestly, because I was doing videos later in the day, so I don't know if I would have been able to fit it in. Anyways, probably not. U.S. created the economic monster that is China, so it's up to the U.S. to take it out. Yeah, no, I agree. Through the deficit. Who's gonna win the Masters? Oh, that's interesting if that's on here. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. I just go with a random person. The Masters are always such a peaceful tournament in the morning. But you know how they do it with the Masters to where, you know, the early rounds are not on TV. It's unfortunate. EU also saying they'll do 0%. I know, I saw that. But they'll have to be a negotiation with the EU because they have other trade barriers on us. Matt Walsh started noticing things about Jews and talking about black and on white crime the moment Daily Wire went bankrupt. Dude is going to go solo soon. You sure Candace is encouraging him? Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a whole Groyper campaign about him, you know, leaving the Daily Wire. I don't know. I've always gotten a weird vibe with Matt Walsh. A lot of you guys know this. The guy seems like a weirdo. I don't know. But he's been saying a lot of stuff that, yeah, it's accurate. Crowder, Daily Wire, Tim Pool are the old MAGA now. Don't seeing them being on top very long. Yeah, but they're always, you know, I haven't really seen much about Pool or Crowder recently. I guess it just depends on who you watch. I mean, they're still raking in huge numbers, I'm sure. I think Crowder is mainly, isn't he exclusively Rumble at this point? Who uses Rumble, though? I mean, a lot of people use Rumble, I guess, but I don't really go on Rumble. You need to change the name of your station. Doesn't match your talent and common sense. What station are you talking about? Crowder streams you really can't watch without a paid membership. Really? Is that it? Yeah, don't they have the Mud Club or something? Yeah, I mean, did he get banned from YouTube or no? A lot of those guys got banned for the COVID stuff. YouTube name. Yeah, I mean, but there's no way I'd ever change my channel name ever. Can't do that. Rumble interface isn't very nice compared to YouTube. Can't put your finger on it. No, it's because it costs a ridiculous amount of money for YouTube to display their interface the way that they do. You know, being able, like, as a video player, the amount that it costs for me to stream this, it costs money. And obviously YouTube takes some out for sure in terms of the amount of money that I make. But it costs a lot to get things up and running on any media player. So but you would think their interface would be better than what it is, because I've seen platforms that are worse, that have less money than Rumble. Their interface is better. It's like a mimic of YouTube too. Like Odyssey is one. I mean, Odyssey's interface is terrible compared to YouTube too, but at least it mimics it better. Maybe Rumble's interface has gotten better because I haven't been on it in a while, but I don't know. You got any hope for Make America Healthy again? Yeah, well, RFK is mired in that, you know, the stuff with the anti-Semitism and supporting that, but he's doing a lot. They are doing a lot. And I mean, anything is better than what we had in terms of trying to clean up the diet, and he's making the new food pyramid. I saw that's like the latest news from RFK. So, but I mean, what is the food pyramid even? What impact does it even have at this point? I feel like it's got basically no impact already. But, you know, they're going to look at, they're going to be skeptical about certain vaccines and stuff like that. And, you know, they talk about the autism going way up because of, I mean, I guess we'll see what they end up finding and what they do. But, I mean, the country is so unhealthy. There really should have been, like, an actual initiative. There has to be something that's done for the country. I mean, this cannot be good with how unhealthy we are. Is YouTube still profitable? Well, yeah, I mean, if you get views, of course it's profitable. You have to build it up, though. Tariff coin is wild. There's probably like 100 Tariff coins. Is there seriously a main one? I didn't even look up a Tariff coin, dude. You know, like I have... Oh, you know that they, like, recreated this? They recreated, like, a wolf. It's the first animal to be unextinct or de-extinct or whatever. Yeah, there's really not even a good Tariff coin, honestly. There's really not a good one. I mean, my coins have just gotten 79K. What happened to Knox? What happened to Epstein? 98. That's good stuff. YouTube must be profitable as their ads are long. Oh, you meant from a Google perspective? Yeah, I mean, I think it is profitable, but but I know it costs them a ton of money to even have the amount of content. Because the craziest thing with YouTube is, in terms of their analytics and just the way it's all calculated, I don't know, maybe you guys won't find this crazy, but like I was looking back at my old videos, and I remember like the times I would upload these videos. It's like the video's like 3 years old, but I remember I was like, oh, I uploaded that video at like 10 a.m. And then I looked, and you can go to the analytics and see like your first 48 hours, how many views, like to see how well the video did. This is all in the analytics. A 3-year-old video, and it has like, and it says, well, you know, you could tell I uploaded the video at like 10:19 a.m. They've got so many analytics. And obviously that's something Rumble doesn't have. But the other thing that YouTube has is they've got the live tracker 48 hours. Like if you're a YouTuber, you'll know, where you can see how many views you're getting in the last 48 hours. And it's like tracked with little candlesticks per hour. And then you can track it per minute, last 60 minutes. It's just, and it like updates every second. Just really advanced compared to what Rumble has. Do you know how many in the Trump family made a meme coin? It's just Trump. It's just Donald and Melania. None of the others made one. There were fake coins. Yeah, here's one of the wolf. Wow. Dude, I saw this coin too. When did I see it though? I think I saw it when it was like... Might have been this one. Oh, this one performed worse anyways. Why no YouTube ads when streaming live? No, there are ads, but you as a YouTuber, see if people complain about ads, and people sometimes do. This is my options. It's limited ads, which makes me less money, but it's a better viewing experience. It's balanced, which is the middle, and then it's aggressive, which is more money but worse viewing experience. I always have it on balanced, so my ads are on balance when it comes to streaming. Your ad system is good. Yeah, my ad system is it's medium. It's basically it's default. Dude, and then you've got all these like Cam coin, Tit coin, you've got all these. What about Nipple coin? That's the one that I bought. It didn't do shit. House. Yeah, this is what people were saying. And if you how is this possible? Boy, they must have had a big cabal get together on this one. $2,000 market cap. $2,000 market cap to 12 million. How many X's is that? How many X's is 1,500 to 2.5 million? 5,000. Can you check the Trump coin? I mean, it's not doing well, I'm sure. Yeah, it's not doing well. It's at it just keeps leaking. I wonder if Trump started to get his coins yet. Is there a Stalin coin? You know, there's a China coin. I was looking at the China coin. It's actually decent. Oh my goodness, it's pumping. It's up 34%. Like, look at this China coin. What did it hit? 16 million. At 245K. This is the official China coin. What if China tweeted out this and said this is our coin actually? It would probably go to at least like 2 billion, probably 4 billion. What if China's like, actually, this is our official coin. We have to announce our cryptocurrency because of the tariffs, and we have to make money somehow. Do you think there's going to be another run on the Trump coin? Well, no, it's most of the coin is locked, and it's going to be unlocked soon, and the coins are going to be dumped onto the market. So I don't think it's going to do much at all unless Trump doesn't sell the coins. Kim Jong-un coin is probably a good buy before Trump meets with him sometime during his... Yeah, I think you told me that before, and I think there was a coin that's actually kind of enticing. I forget if it was his name or... Damn, is it seriously at 193? No, this was not it. I forgot what the coin name was, but I think there was a coin. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it. And there's not shit on North Korea either. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this stream. There really shouldn't be a lag. Man, there's really no lag at all. There's maybe like a few seconds. All right, say the number. All right, say the number 1 in the chat. Put the number 1 in chat. Might be like a 4-second lag, 5-second lag, 7-second lag, something like that. Yeah, I think it's like a 7-second lag. That's better. Yeah, guys, like the stream. That's the thing. If I don't tell people to like the stream, we got to get over 300 likes. We got to get over 300 likes. Let's get over 300 likes. Because the thing is, if I don't tell people to like it, it's not going to be over. $301. Dude, I didn't even know it was at 300. Is it seriously at 300? 328. All right, guys, I'll see ya.